Everyone is wondering if the cycle is over. Well, this could be just a 30-day correction, just like in the previous cycle before we had a parabola and the cycle was over in its final leg. The truth is no one knows. I'm going to give you all the data and information so that you can come out of this video prepared for all the possibilities and outcomes. And I'm also going to give you the charts of the best meme coins that could bounce the hardest from this dip. So stay tuned right until the end because there's a lot of information in this video and tons of alpha. 1, 2, 3, let's get on to it. Alright, so this could be just a 30-day correction, just like we're seeing here on this pulse halving ROI. Okay, last cycle we had major correction. It lasted about 30 days, and then we had the full-blown parabola, the mania, the craziness, and we had a cycle peak. Well, I've been telling you guys, and I think everyone at this point knows, we are in the final stages of the cycle. Very likely the final stages. If you look at the Bitcoin chart, it couldn't be more obvious. If you see stuff like, for example, Elliott wave theory, we had wave 1, we have a wave 2, and right now we are in the midst of wave 3. Usually, you know, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have A, B, C, D correction. Yeah, that's the full cycle. So we are definitely in the later stages of the cycle. It started right down here, okay? Right down here. You're not early. This is the late stages. The question is this a 30-day correction? Because historically, August is not a good month for Bitcoin. August and September are not the best historical months for Bitcoin. So corrections here are completely normal and should be expected. The truth is Bitcoin gonna bounce here? Because there's a ton of support at 111. It can even come all the way down to something like 110K. And is it gonna bounce from this pocket, from this bullish fair value gap? Or are we gonna go lower? I think the odds of it being a 30-day correction before full-blown mania are still larger. I would say 60-40, maybe 70-30. If you look at Bitcoin cycle oscillators, okay, these are extreme oscillators. They usually give you tops and bottoms. None of them are signaling a top signal, okay? None of them are signaling that the cycle is over. But on the other hand, what we have to understand is this is not a retail-driven cycle. This is an institutional cycle. What that means is some of these signals they used to flash this time might not be useful at all because this is all about institutional price-driven market. When we look at demand, BTC's demand has been steadily declining a little bit. If you look at, like, for example, global liquidity, let's look at the best cycle, okay? 2021, 2022, we had global liquidity and the BTC cycle peak was right at the end, which matches the global liquidity cycle. Peaked first and Bitcoin only peaked after. So you can see global liquidity peaking a little bit after, global liquidity peak right there around something like September, October. A lot of people say the actual peak and cycle end was in April 2021 before the global liquidity even peaked. This was just, you know, a blow off top driven by mania, insane speculation. But a lot of people were saying here like, okay, it's over. And they were kind of right. It was kind of over in April. So global liquidity hasn't topped yet, which is signaling to us that this is probably just going to be a correction. Then when you look at treasury companies and their share of crypto assets held, ETH just had its beginning explosion. It went up extremely fast. And the price of ETH is actually just so underwhelming, taking into consideration how fast these treasury companies started accumulating ETH. We were just 1.3% away from a new all-time high, and now we're in the midst of a big correction, which could definitely go deeper. Like ETH could definitely go back to something like 3.3K and still bounce. That could definitely happen. But now the most important thing is which charts are strong, which coins can we buy? Let's say Bitcoin goes to 110, it goes a little bit deeper, and ETH goes to like 3.3K, something like that. Which charts would you buy? Troll is definitely one of them. Look at how strong Troll is. I mean, it's up 11% while the entire market is getting slaughtered. And I think Troll could go as deep as something like, I don't know, below 100 mil. This would be like a perfect place to add Troll if the market corrects a little bit deeper. If not, this pocket right here at 120 million is also a good entry. I would definitely enter Troll with size right around there. Then stuff like BD, which is at support, it's been holding very well. You can tell that it wanted to fly here and also here yesterday when it went to 16 mil, but BTC corrected, and that's the reason why the chart has been having difficulty, just like any other chart out there. Same thing goes for Toshi. Toshi is looking good. If this support line holds, the 220 mil market cap one, this could be a first good entry. Otherwise, it's probably gonna come all the way back down to like 140, 150. Those would be amazing entries on some of the best memes out there. Same thing goes for the Milady coin, which it's kind of funny how I drew this thing and it actually happened precisely like that. But we had a good entry that I gave you guys at 20 million, and then right here at 50 mil before it doubled to 100 mil. I think if this support line holds, this could be a good entry again at 50 mil market cap before continuation. I think this is one of the best memes out there. If we are expecting ETH all-time highs, definitely think Colt is going to outperform all the other Ethereum meme coins out there. One thing I have to say, guys, I know a lot of you are mad because I'm not supporting OGBT and I'm supporting 𝗘𝗫𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I am here to make money. I am here to eat. This is not a purity contest, okay? If someone wanted to support OG Brett, you know, how well did they end up doing? Brett did amazing, okay? Cabal coins do very well. They're good trades. Troll, my friends, is a Cabal coin. Useless, which I've been talking about forever, is a Cabal coin. Almost every meme coin that does well. House coin was a, you know, supply controlled Cabal coin. You weren't mad when I was talking about any of these. Why are you mad about BT? And why would anyone buy this when God knows who the hell is holding the supply of this thing? Listen, if you guys want to send this, I don't mind. I have a ton of it. this thing goes to like 6-8 mil, I'm probably gonna take $300,000, $400,000. Okay, so if you guys want to send it, go ahead. But I'm not gonna be forced into, you know, blackmail into pushing something that I don't believe in. I think this one is way better. I gave you guys, you could have entered that 4 million and it almost 10x. It almost did a freaking 10x, and you still call me a scammer. Yeah, I don't think so. So let's sum this up. Okay, there's a hawkish tone. If Powell comes in soft and he says that rate cuts are likely, I mean, we're gonna bounce. We're gonna bounce very, very hard. More likely than not. And if we bounce very, very hard, we would essentially probably bounce from the support, maybe do 140, 150, and that's it. That's the cycle, you know? Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, bye-bye. If there are no cuts for September, however, it's gonna be an ugly month. It's not gonna be the best month, but it's gonna give us amazing entries. It's gonna give us amazing, amazing entries. Everything's gonna bounce, and I will be here to try and like be precise with these entries and which coins we should buy, because when we bounce, it's probably going to be like the last leg of the cycle. If we have that clarity for October potential cuts, then the end of the year could be extremely bullish and positive. Market hates uncertainty. We are seeing that right now in the price action. Okay, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a decline in demand. There's a ton of issue with these debts. They're essentially like diluting their holder bases, printing a ton of shares, buying something that is going down. You know, that reflexivity doesn't work, of course, in a bear market. It's probably going to wreck everyone. But the truth is, we are currently at support. ETH touched support. It's not bouncing. BTC is very, very close to support. Likelihood of us bouncing here is bigger than not. This might be our last entry on some of these big coins. I would still like Troll to come a little bit lower for me to re-enter Troll. In case it doesn't, if it goes into all-time highs and it does some type of like up and handle pattern, that's when I re-enter Troll. When it comes to BT, I think this is like a good support entry. When it comes to Toshi, this is very, very close to a good support entry. When it comes to Colt, same thing. It's like very, very close to the perfect entry. And this is what's happening in the market right now. These are either amazing entries and we're gonna bounce, or they're gonna pull back slightly deeper, and then maybe a month from now we have our bounce. Okay, that's what's happening right now. Thank you very much. See you guys tomorrow with more charts explaining everything happening in the market.